Hi, my name is Todd Strasser and I write books for young people. You might know some of the characters in my stories, like Jake Sherman from Help I'm Trapped in My Teacher's Body, or Laurie Saunders in The Wave, or Scott Porter from Fallout. Today I want to talk to you about Lucas Baker. He is the main character in my new book, Summer of '69. I was 19 years old in 1969, and what happened that summer changed my life.
Tell us about your character.
Lucas is a special character for me because, well, he is me and I am him. In the book, his name may be Lucas Baker, but it might as well be Todd Strasser. And back in 1969, both Lucas and I were something people used to call a hippie. Hippies were people who had long hair and wore colorful clothes and liked to walk around with bare feet, even in the city. They didn't want to have jobs and companies, and they didn't want to own lots of things. They just wanted to live in peace and love people and not hurt anyone. The nice thing is, there are still a lot of people today who feel that way. They just don't call themselves hippies, and they wear shoes.
How did you come up with this character?
Usually, when writers write a book about themselves, it's called an autobiography. But sometimes a writer will write about himself or herself and change the story slightly so that it's no longer exactly the way it happened in real life. In that case, the book is called an autobiographical novel. Some of the things Lucas does in the book are exactly what I did that summer, but some are slightly different. Another reason that Summer of '69 is an autobiographical novel and not an autobiography is that I took events from two different summers and combined them into one. In the book, everything happens in the summer of 1969, but in real life, some of those things happened in 1969, but some of them also happened in 1968. By the way, isn't it interesting how, if you're a kid and you change stories about yourself, it's called a lie, but if you're a grown-up and you change a lot of stories about yourself, that's called a novel.
What made you want to become a creator of books?
I grew up in a family where everyone read books and some people were writers. My mother was a journalist, my grandfather wrote songs, and we had a cousin who wrote plays and movies. But when I got to the end of third grade, my parents were called to school by the school principal who told them that I couldn't go into fourth grade. When my parents asked why, she said it was because I couldn't read or write well enough to go into fourth grade. Now think about how I felt. There I was in a family filled with readers and writers, and I couldn't even get into fourth grade because my reading and writing were so poor. My mother asked the principal if going to a reading tutor that summer might help. The principal said that was fine, and they would wait until the fall and test me. If my reading and writing had improved enough, I could go into fourth grade. As you can probably imagine, I felt pretty bad. The summer was coming, and the last thing I wanted to do was go to a tutor. I wanted to be outside playing. But my mother made me go, and I have to admit that this tutor was pretty smart. She had an ingenious way of getting me to read and write. First, she told me to sit at her kitchen table. Then she gave me a book. Then she opened a pantry. Inside were cookies, cupcakes, and donuts. She said, "Here's the deal, Todd. You read, you eat." And I thought, I can do that. For the rest of the summer, I read and ate and read and ate. And by the end of the summer, I'd gained 5 pounds. But I was also reading just well enough to get into fourth grade. And ever since then, I've loved reading and writing. And ever since then, I felt like I belonged with my family. And just like Lucas in Summer of '69, I spent a lot of time that summer reading. And the funny thing is, I learned that I don't have to be the fastest reader or the best writer. I just have to be able to read and write. I think that is what put me on the path to becoming a writer, and it's a path I've been on ever since.